and welcome to episode 66 of Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, slay the Spire. I'm your host, LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing co-hosts. First up, Ben, how was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
Well, my week in Snap, endeavoring to keep it snappy as I always do. Yeah, let's say always this week. Every time. Keeping it so snappy. It was a pretty good week in Snap. I remembered to do the weekend missions, except I don't think I finished the Spider-Punk one. But I've been skipping a lot of weekend missions lately. Even when I don't hate the cards, I have not been... I just can't be bothered to play anything other than the cards I feel like playing at any given. And, if they aren't the weekend mission cards, it's just, I don't know. Some cards came out. I have been playing a lot with one of the new cards, but we're going to save that for a later section. I'm still sick. There's that big news.
Ooh.
What else happened in my week? I mean, I played a ton of Snap. I don't know what to say about it.
It's okay if you don't.
Yeah, I also played some other games, but maybe this is just the snappiest weekend Snap ever.
All right.
We have a lot of other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we have plenty of Snap to talk about. Ree, how was your week in Snap and keep it snappy?
I have a bit of a cold, and so I'm also on a lethargy debuff this week. But in Snap, I did go on a bit of a spree and caught myself up on all the Season 4 and Season 5 non-seasonal that I didn't have, but I wasn't, super excited to play with any of them except for Headpool, which I did have fun with in a Deadpool deck, of course. And it was very fun. It's like playing with a friend's puppy, where you don't have to train, because that's how I am with Destroy. It's not in it for the long haul, but it's great fun to play with.
You're a tourist.
Yeah, I mean, I come back to it a lot. I've played it a decent bit, but so yeah, that was fun. I mostly kind of had dropped out after High Voltage. A lot of that is Ben's fault for signing Slay the Spire, which is what I used to do. I mean, Nintendo Switch, which is what I have it on, handheld, just how I pretty much always play it. And late night is just one of the things I used to do before Snap. So that kind of easily reoccupied that space in my time. But coming back, I was trying to have fun, and it's I don't know. I guess I feel I was just complaining about they're nerfing all the tech. But now I'm I'm trying to go out and have fun. Everyone's playing Stardust. I can't do my small hella, and I had that time where it was I kept switching decks, and they kept running into the counter. My Rocks deck, they played Killmonger right at the end, just all the counters. So finally, I was fine, you drove me to this. I went to the deck that I never took apart. It was my Arsham deck. I was fine, you can beat up on me. I'll come back with my big robot and my extra energy and drop that card on turn 6 that wins, because you would never, ever be able to see that coming. But I knew. So anyway, that's I guess it was a villainous week for me in Snap. But I've just been less time for Snap and for podcast prep, because I've been really full bent on my mermaid game, which has seen mild scope creep, of course, but has all been necessary and appropriate, I promise. Just today I finished one of the 3 random bosses you can run into at the end of a little campaign run, and it's the old snake game.
Uh-huh.
Where you eat the apples and you try not to run into yourself. Well, I made the reverse of that, where the snake just continuously chases the mermaid, and you have to lead it to the power-ups to make it grow so it can get long enough so you can trick it into doubling back in on itself, taking itself down.
That's such a good idea for a game.
Cool.
Snake, but you're not the snake.
I'm so hype about it, to be honest.
Is that now the core mechanic of this game, or is that like that's a unique enemy type? Or
that's a boss.
Right?
Okay, so because it's there's like 3 depths, kind of like Hades style, but like this is it's mini cozy rogue. I'm actually worried that I might have to tune it down a little bit and made it too hard for coziness. But like, here's the fun of this, and this is the reason I'm like so mad at Marvel Snap, because it's like the core of the game, right? It's a hex grid map that builds out randomly with procedurally generated dangers and like artifacts. You want to collect all of that stuff. And there's like 3 depths to it, and like, different styles going down. Hades style. And then you run into a boss, which is going to be one of 3 random that are kind of based on the 3 different depths. And then that's victory. But then kind of over time, because the victory is you get to return to your mermaid village in triumph. And over time you can help like clearing out so many dangers and stuff makes your victory screen better, because it builds up like your mermaid village, like cleans up the trash around and stuff. But okay, but the core mechanics, there's only like 2. Like I said, this is a phone game. It's made for phone. It's made to be like chill. Like my dream is that like my hairstylist who makes all my amazing colors. I let her do, like, when I went in last time, she's like, okay, did you have anything? I'm like, no, as per usual these days, whatever is in your heart you may do upon my hair. And she's like, okay, I have this vision. It's just this like color pattern in my head of like neons, greens, and yellows. Are you in? I'm like, of course. I would follow you into a hair battle anywhere. But like my dream for this game is like she could sit on her couch too and like cozily like play. And me too. I like play. I play it a lot at night. To sleep. Where was I getting? Okay, so the core mechanics though of it are like, if you haven't explored a tile yet and you can't go in because like there's a barrier in the way, you can rotate the tile and then you can just move. And those are like the 2 things. And the joy of designing under constraint, is so fun. That's where, I like thought of this game. It's like, what can I do with what I have? And when I'm looking at accessories and stuff, it's like, if it's not going to actually do something, like I don't want to put fluff in, right? Like it's got to actually be fun or meaningful. And, standard stuff are appropriate. But it's like, then I think about Marvel Snap and it's like, they have so much more design space in a freaking card game, a big card game, than I have in my mermaid game. And it feels like sometimes they're just like not as creative with that as they could be. It's just like with some of these cards, some of them are great, but others it's just like, like they're just made to be commons, like Lauren was saying something about like commons and card games earlier. And it's like, the great thing about Marvel Snap is that it doesn't have those, but it kind of does, doesn't it? Like in some regards, it's just a better, like for what they do. It's like, cause I put in Valentina for Iron Patriot and Arasham, even though I knew Iron Patriot is probably the slightly better card to have there, cause I want to play Valentina, but it's like, that feels like, right, there's like a slot for that thing, and then you play the card you have, unless you have the best card, and then you play the best card, unless you just really like another card, and you play that card, and it's like, it does kind of make things like feel like they're a commons in this game. Anyway, so, I've been working hard, but not as much at snappish things. So, that's what I've been up to. Lauren, our third gracious co-host, who is amazing and very knowledgeable about Snap and math and statistics. Sorry, I wanted to give you an intro, but I hadn't thought it out beforehand. But also, I would very much like to hear about your week in Snap.
I'll take an impromptu intro. Yeah, the listeners missed the conversation on comments because it happened before the show started. And I don't even know if I ever fully baked the thought, but we were basically talking about too many cards in the game. How it feels like that. Even though there are plenty of games that have more cards. And
they also have larger decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, each card in Snap has more to lift as a single card. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's the philosophy of the game is they don't want to have commons. They want pretty much every card to be playable. And honestly, they do a pretty good job of that. There's 20 cards that don't see play at all in a tournament.
Yeah. And I take it back because I'm like, what am I saying? Do I want there to just be Iron Patriot? No, I want to play Valentina.
Well, so, you just have a point that the balance should be such that there are times where Valentina is the right answer, and that's
it feels like pretty much always Iron Patriot is. Yeah.
And and that's where it's does maybe Valentina need another point or something like that?
It's too much, right? At a 2-4,
I think Iron Patriot is too good. I think that's.
That's
true.
Probably
that's
it.
Probably. Give it a -2 or something. He's a very easy card to play.
Yeah, I was just reading the card the other day. I was really hoping it was a -2 because that felt right and true and appropriate, but no.
It was -4 at launch.
I know, right? I was like, surely they brought it down to -2. That's a reasonable number. But nope. -3 still.
I think, largely speaking, the direct to S4 cards are kind of the commons, or at least the uncommons of Snap. But there's been a few lately that are pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think that's a marker of quality.
Okay. So I don't know if I celebrated before on the podcast that I finally got the Chris Enka Nico, which was the Spotlight 2 months after she came out. That's called the Runaways variant, but it's the really pretty one that's super dark and it's 3/4 view of her face.
Okay, I know it.
It's got candles and constellations in front of her face. And I have so many Nico variants and they're lovely and all that, but that is one Spotlight that I regretted missing. And there are very few that I ever went for. I did very wisely go for the Echo one and I still love that one, but I also went for Kahori, and I almost never play her. Expected that she was going to be a better card. Anyway, finally got that one. Now that Spotlights are available in the token shop. It took forever to rotate in, but it did. And so now my splitting quest is I have 4 different crackles on Nico, but I specifically want blue or purple to go with my new variant. So that's what I'm chasing.
Right. Things are looking okay. Sorry, just Nico.
Okay.
I just read Runaways number 5 today. It is so good, written by Rainbow. There's so many. I almost took 3 different pictures to share specifically with you all, but then I lazed out. But it was just they've given it to Nico, where now she can do magic without her staff and the whole. So they've kind of over time divorced her from that, and so it's but this moment where she's comes into her own, where because she lost her ability to do magic, and that's her whole deal. You don't get to be a cool Marvel character if you don't have a cool gimmick, So and she was feeling down and she wasn't doing a good job leading the Runaways, and this issue was kind of finally a triumph moment for so many of the characters. She gets to do it, and she can do it because she and Gert found it if they team up, they can make it work, which is also a moment for Gert, who can't do magic. And it's my gimmick isn't me. It's that I'm just attached to this very cool dinosaur. Dinosaurs are cool. You know what I mean? So it's
they are.
Yeah, right. And she's but I also would like me to be cool, not just get out of the way, Gert, so you don't get hurt. And let your dinosaur do all the cool stuff. So they get to have a triumph moment. The Doombots that are after them, literally, they're eliminate the small magical girls. And it's just yay! Okay, and then in this episode 2, Doombot, the character, right? Who Victor, who Iron Lad is king. I'm mixing it up. Okay, Victor Mancha. Sorry, like I have a cold. I'm too out of it right now. To remember who he is. Okay. He has been trying to talk to Doombot and be like, you can be your own person. You're not Doom. And he's like, I am Doom. But he's like, I'm kind of part of Doom. And he's like, he felt like he had to return to Doom to protect the runaways because like render and deceive are the things that are Caesar's. And he felt like he was of Doom. And he gets to have this moment because like Doom just got like blown apart. If you recall from previous discussions, he was kind of ruling the world. And he just had his downfall, and Doombot like gets to find out like Doom, who he'd always felt like, but I am Doom, even if I am apart from Doom. Like he'd been like sacrificing the Latverian children. This Doombot who'd specifically been taking care of children, making them goulash on the stovetop so that they wouldn't go hungry or eat like bad packaged foods. And he has this moment where he sees his idol. His idol had been like sacrificing the children, the thing they valued most. And he's finally like just has this moment where he's like, I am not Doom. And it's like so epic. If you love Doombot, the character, which I do, it's just like, oh, and he gets to come back and like, okay, anyway. Sorry, I'm just like, yay! And Nico splits, what an appropriate time. Sorry, back to your weakness. I didn't mean to go on so long about it.
I need to catch up on Runaways so bad. I hold it as my favorite Marvel property.
Yeah, and Carolina just came back.
And I am behind. I have read very little beyond the original BKV run. So there's plenty I haven't read. Anyway. I was talking about splits. I've been chasing Nico and Merlin splits. Finally landed a good one on Merlin. For me, good is just like a crackle I like. I run base finish on almost every card because I like my cards colorful. So landed red crackle on Merlin. And
do you ever fall for an ink though?
Nico. Yes, I run currently 1 ink in my entire collection.
Okay, what is it?
It's Jacinto Silver Surfer with blue crackle.
That's a pretty good one.
I also run an ink Silver Surfer. Jacinto, I run this. Okay. I don't have a blue crackle on it, but
I had Symbiote Spider-Man. Yeah. See, we all
oh my gosh, we're all so cool.
There's been so many surfers since, but it's still the best one.
Yep.
I had also Symbiote Spider-Man in ink, but then I just got the Dan Hip one, and you can't ink a Dan Hip, so...
Can't ya?
Can't
literally can't. The game won't let you.
They're like straight to jail, believe it or not.
Yeah. Base finish is the best thing that ever happened to Hip lovers, and I know Hip is a very divisive artist in Snap, but I enjoy them a lot, and largely because of how colorful they are.
No, it grows on you. You can't hate Hip forever.
I think he does a really good job of distilling characters down to like essence.
Yep.
And something
and they've gotten better, some of them, right? Like
he's gotten a lot better, yes.
Like leaned harder in, done the little cute like side things. It's like everyone kind of learned from Rian. Now you see all those little chibis running around in all the background.
I think so.
It's a good touch. There are a handful of Hips I don't like. I don't like the Angela or Jane Foster. It was like they got a little weird, but then
there's some, yeah.
Anyway, like he was like trying to make them too realistic or something. I don't know exactly what it is I don't like about them, but I don't like those ones, which is fine. Anyway, I also have been playing tons of my pet deck that I just it's the one I go to when I don't have something else to play, and I've played some other stuff, right? But I got to talk about Spider-Man Noir later. So it's my Valkyrie Circe deck, and Supergiant is a star in it. And Merlin replaced Negasonic when she became a 4, and it hasn't been the same since, and I don't know what to do about that. But this deck is still super fun, and I still love beating people with Valkyrie, and I don't know. So it'll be in the show notes again. I've talked about it many times. I don't know how many people. I know at least one other person in the world has like played it enough to learn how to play it. But anyway, it's a super fun deck. You got like 3 ways to deal with the void. I guess you have even more now that there's Merlin. So yeah, 4 ways to deal
I mean,
with
in
the void.
Stardust, right?
If I run into an enemy Stardust, then yeah, Stardust would mess up, I guess.
just was like, I just did a stupid Arshem earlier where I had Sentry and I'm like, oh, I gotta wait till I fill up the right side. And I was sitting there with like a Stardust in my hand all the time. And I never just played them in a deck together.
Yeah, that is a real technique
I'm
to
like,
do.
oh, you dummy. Okay.
Often get free Mockingbirds. That's sort of one place where Supergiant's at odds with the deck because you actually want Cersei to do her thing early to make Mockingbird cheap. But
Makes sense.
Cool. Okay. We all decided ahead of time we had nothing new to say about Ezekiel Sims. So we're going to go on to this week's card, Spider-Man Noir, a 4/6. On reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here, set its power to 8. Did you get them? Did you try them? Did you run into any of them?
Yes. Yes to all.
I didn't. So I mostly just... And I only just got back in playing last night, and I've only seen a Deafening Chord, so I'm very interested to hear about your experiences.
Okay, good. Yeah, I haven't played Deafening Chord yet. I haven't
Me
seen
neither.
or played against one yet, but it just came out today because new card on Thursday. Why not?
I don't know.
I think
Sure.
we'll talk about Deafening Chord next week, probably. Okay, go ahead,
Before
Ben.
I
Tell us about
forget,
Noir.
I will say that when I opened my Deafening Chord out of my Seasonal Series 4-pack, I got fully refunded. In fact, I got more than fully
Ooh.
refunded. I got all the tokens to get another Series 4-pack, plus 25 extra. So, very profitable snap pack.
Nice.
But, more importantly, Ezekiel Sims, who I did not get out of a snap pack. I dropped the full 6,000. Or not Ezekiel, Spider-Man Noir. Ezekiel Sims is last week's news. Oh my gosh. And he was 11,000 tokens for me, as I would not shut up about. But anywho, Spider-Man Noir, Tunzo Funzo. That's my opinion. You know what card this is like? Everybody's going to think Jubilee, and they're not wrong. The card is like Jubilee. But you know what else it's like? It's a lot like America Chavez is the thing. Because, like, you want to be like, all the same cards are hits, is my my thinking. And so that, to me, said, you should play this card in Surfer. And so that's what I did. And it seems to work pretty well. I've seen some other Surfer lists, and they all seem fine. You know, they've all got their charms. You can do it with Domino if you want. But, like, if you do that, I think you're probably asking for locations to screw you a little bit. Like, if you lean too cutely into the fulfilling the requirement of the card, like if you make your whole deck about like, how are we going to count to 8 right on time, you've lost the plot. It should be, how are we going to win more games than we lose, and let Spider-Man Noir just be part of that.
You're right, but let's highlight Domino Surfer is a very easy way to hit 8 because you get the guaranteed 2, and Surfer is full of 3s. So it's 2, 3, 3. You can afford
locations
more.
are full of things that put things onto the board. So I think, I don't know. For me personally, I've been enjoying a more flexible approach. Let me tell you what I've got in the deck. I've got America Chavez, I got Surge, I got Irby. I'm dropping the H on Herbie. Like I'm Ree or something.
You got it from Ree.
We've been hanging out. Anyhow, Merlin, Brood, Captain Carter, Silver Surfer, Hope Summers, Sebastian Shaw, Absorbing Man, Spider-Man Noir, and Iron Man. And it seems to win a lot. I'm up a bunch of snap points with it. Honestly, I suspect it's not any better than my other Surfer deck. My other Surfer deck that I played at Worlds and stuff. I don't think it's better than that one, but it's fine, and it seems to win a lot. So I don't know.
Can I ask an obvious question? Does the card do something for you? So if you were like too lazy to count, you can tell when he was activated. Asking for a late night friend.
So he does 2 things. One is he's the first card that has dynamic text. He actually, like, at the end of his text box has a 0 out of 8 in parentheses that live refreshes.
Ooh.
So you don't even need to know that, like, Raptors cost 1 or the monster cost 6 or whatever. You can just tap him and see how much you're at. The other thing, I mean, I guess you need to know to plan ahead, but
Yeah,
The
I've
other
never.
thing is when you have exactly 8 on the board, he has like a white glow around him.
It's very easy to tell when he's on and stuff. So don't play him if you don't see the white glow or whatever. But yeah, it's super easy to make it line up with 8. For instance, as is the case with the Domino Surfer decks, like a 2 and 2 3s will get you there. So if you play like Surge or Merlin or Herbie, and then like Captain Carter and Hope Summers, boom, you're there. One thing that you can do is you can go 1, 2, 3, and then on turn 4 you play a 2, and then on turn 5 you play Spider-Man Noir and a Merlin spell or something. There are a zillion ways to make it work. Sometimes you want to make a rock with Herbie to get there. Merlin is just like a rock star.
Does the Merlin spell do anything?
Yeah.
Because like a polymorph will increase it by 1.
Yeah, and I meant like as a thing to do on turn 5 alongside your Spider-Man Noir. That was the first thing I was talking about. Like, but yes, but when it comes to getting to 8, yes, Merlin is a rock star at that. You can once and future something. You can polymorph something. Like it's so easy to make the numbers line up if Merlin's around. But also Herbie's helpful there. Also, Herbie's not bad as a thing to get with Spider-Man Noir, especially if it happens on turn 4, because then you got 2 chances to roll the doubling. I've got tons of screenshots of 16 power Herbies. It's just, Herbie's kind of like, if there were 2 cards that I was not sure about in this particular list, it would be Herbie and Sebastian Shaw, but they're both so good at their jobs and doing their things. Like, I think there'll be people who are like, but why Sebastian Shaw? That's a bad hit for Spider-Man Noir. Don't you want Human Torch first steps? And to that I say, no, I basically never want Human Torch first steps. I want Sebastian Shaw. He gets real big off of like a million different things. Anywho, I'm telling you, the deck works. It's been printing tickets. I'm up a bajillion SP. And when I say a bajillion, I mean like, I don't know, a couple hundred. But yeah, the deck, like, don't knock it till you've tried it, is my feeling. And also, maybe you'll try it and it won't work, but don't. I don't know. I'm telling you, if you tried harder, it would work. I don't know. It's a real deck. Spider-Man Noir is a real card, and if you're not doing them in Surfer, I don't know. I'd try them in Surfer.
It's reassuring that you said that, like, specifically, like, not to be all in on it. You know what I mean? He's not like a very narrow combo card. He's kind of like a accelerator, you know? So, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think that seems real helpful. Yeah.
And if he doesn't, it's fine. You should still have other plans.
And that's really clever, using Merlin as a tool to help, like, because I was like, you can't, like, I mean, you can make squirrels disappear with, like, Killmonger and stuff, but, like, yeah, things
Sometimes
like Merlin and stuff can help out. Makes me want to build, like, a Constantine deck of, like, detectives and magicians. Like,
that would
be very Ree.
That would be very Ree. Also, I tried him in a Darkhawk deck, and I don't know those cards, so I didn't make it. I don't think it was very. It seemed to be okay, but I could tell that I had not. I don't understand those cards the way I understand the Surfer cards. And the other thing I was going to say, I feel like there might be like sort of a widely held misunderstanding of like, this is, I mean, I guess this is a card that can be vulnerable to location luck, but at least the way I've been trying to play him, your locations only help has been my experience with him, because you have all the information in the first 3 turns, right? So just don't get yourself into. I don't know. I guess I don't think that this is a card where you need to like be worried about bad locations. You just want to be hopeful for good locations, and if you get bad locations, they're just fine. They're neutral. You can just count to 8. Make sure it's 8 and play the card when there's 8. You know,
Don't count. Pay attention to the animation.
I should have like prepared better notes, but like this card is not that hard to use. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, your take has been the most positive I've seen anywhere. Not that I've seen a lot of I haven't seen a lot of hate either, but I mean, Safety said, "Why did they make this card?" or something like that. But that one was pretty negative.
I think he's probably like 72 hours away from being like, oh, this card's actually really fun and cool.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like that. It seems like a card that would follow that trajectory.
I did have to do the Stardust thing. The last time I did this, where I felt the need to warn my co-hosts, like, I know that expectations were low about this card, but I'm gonna come up positive for it on the episode. I got to give you a couple days to acclimate,
prepare. I'm not prepared to say this is a good card, but it is a very fun card, and as expected, when it does the thing is very big. I tried it in like a few things, but they were all day one decks, so nothing worth talking about. The thing I liked him in best was Surfer, and it was a Domino Surfer deck. It's really fun to hit Brood. I only did that once, but of course that's awesome. That's like a 30 power play.
One thing about the deck that I described that I did not mention: try whenever possible to play Spider-Man Noir on an empty lane, so that if you do land Brood, there's room for all 3 of them. And also, if you land Captain Carter, she'll be in the front row.
That's smart.
But if you've already drawn both of those cards, it doesn't matter, because Iron Man does his thing no matter where he sits.
Yeah. It did have Iron Man just because he's such a good hit. And
also,
even if you
Iron
don't
Man
hit him
almost
with Noir,
belongs in Surfer, just like the way he is. Like, it's fine to play Iron Man.
The deck I got, I think it was an auto build, and I have no idea where it came from. Unfortunately, I was looking around for it, and I've never saw anybody posting it. It had Sinister in it, which is weird when Domino's there. It's just like you can't hit 8 with Sinister with the way that the deck is constructed. So he was basically just there as like, this is good if you hit him with Noir, and it's true, he is. But anyway, that deck could use refinement, so I also won't be going into it further than saying it was Surfer Noir, and that was a fun deck. He's fine. I think he's probably just going to be fine. I think it probably is right for him to be a card that is not a build around. Like, you need to be prepared to hit 8, but your deck needs to be able to survive if you don't succeed. Whereas there are other cards like Negative and sort of Wiccan. Wiccan's like in between the two, where like you need to hit the 4 for it to, for the deck to do its thing. But I saw at least one person post a Noir deck that said, if you don't get Noir, just retreat. I'm like, I don't know if he's
that's not it, y'all.
Yeah,
no.
I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's
not
like,
negative
is good enough to say that. Anyway.
I beat somebody who Spider-Man Noired out an Iron Man. I did Spider-Man. I pulled off my Spider-Man Noir, but it only gave me a giant America Chavez. But like, Spider-Man Noir is beatable, even if like they get the good stuff like a Gore or an Iron Man. Like, it's not a guaranteed win if it goes off.
Don't forget to snap. Like, when you do get it, like, I was Arishaming the other day, and someone Cassandra Nova'd me. And then on turn 6, they dropped a Darkhawk. They, like, super beat me.
Yeah.
They didn't snap me. I didn't know for sure. Because honestly, if I thought they had a Darkhawk, I would have assumed they would have snapped several turns ago. You know what I mean? Or at least...
that's how they got 2 cubes out of you instead of 1.
I don't think so. I honestly, it was just, I'm like, it's like negotiate for your salaries, people. Like, to get your cubes worth. Like, I don't know if they'd snap me here, but here's how would have happened. If they'd snapped me earlier, like they should have, they would have still gotten cubes when I retreated at turn 6. You know what I mean? And then maybe even earlier, because when I was in a worse position, I think I could have, I shanged there because I did something. I had something good, but I don't know. They surprised me with the Darkhawk. They should have snapped. Though I was so like nonplussed. Like your deck is built to be Arishem. I am Arishem. What more are you looking for? You know? Okay.
You reminded me of I couldn't track down what video this was, but some advice from Lambie back in the day where it's, and I'm paraphrasing, basically like if your deck is doing its thing and you're not snapping, there's something wrong with your deck, right? Like when your deck is doing the thing right, you should be in a strong, like that. You're in a strong position. Like take advantage of that.
I think the way I heard Gunny T describe it once was like you have to snap because like they have to pay to see your good stuff.
Yeah, I like that phrasing a lot too. But you have to know you have the good stuff ready to go.
Well, yeah, understand your deck and know when it's the good stuff.
Uh-huh. But just something about the phrasing where it's like, if you're not snapping when your deck is doing the thing, when are you snapping?
Yeah,
like
that's the people who are struggling to get to infinite and stuff because they're not taking advantage of their wins to get enough cubes out of it. You know,
like waiting for like having the perfect locations handed to them or something. Like,
anytime you can tell you're like something has tipped in your favor, that's the time to snap, no matter how small it is. Like anything that like bumps you over to 51 to 49, I think is worth snapping about.
You have to be a very good player for that, though. Use more generous boundaries if you are not as good at evaluating
I don't know, like
the game.
55 or whatever. But like,
if
you're ahead, snap about it.
I'm aggressive too. Well, I'm like, but you also have to be good at evaluating the game. You have to be good at knowing you're at the 51%, right?
True.
Like technically that's true. If you're at 51%, you should be snapping. If you're at 50%, you should be snapping.
I do think that like maybe sometimes I'm perhaps more conservative than I've made it sound like. Like there are times when I'm not sure I'm winning, and if I'm not sure I'm winning, I won't always snap about it. And maybe I should snap more. I don't know. Maybe I'm not even doing a good job of following my advice.
You need to snap before you know you're winning. Sometimes it's okay to have snapped and then retreat and lose 2 cubes. Like if you're playing a move deck and the first location that shows up or whatever is a move location, you know what I mean? You snap, you make them pay that cube.
Yep.
Then maybe it doesn't pan out for whatever reason.
And then the second location is miniaturized lab, and you're like, well. Oops.
And then you play it until they snap or it gets to the end, and then you maybe retreat for 2. That doesn't mean that it was wrong for you to snap initially, you know?
Yeah,
exactly. And
really
your opponents will try to tell you it was wrong. They will do stupid emotes when you retreat after snapping yourself. They are telling on themselves as bad players. You are the good player.
Yep.
Don't be discouraged by that. Like that's them being dumbasses and you getting away with like leaving for 2 cubes when it was correct to snap. You were right. You were doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're basing all of your decisions turn by turn on like kind of probabilities to maximize your cube gain should they continue in that trajectory. Doesn't mean you should bet more on a losing hand. You know, you like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was impromptu snapping and retreating advice, but very, very important stuff to know, honestly. Okay. We have Sanctum Showdown starting on Monday, where you can get Hydro Man. Just, something to be aware of,
Morris
I guess.
Bench!
Yeah, and apparently, I think that was in like the Discord stuff where they were saying that the pass, like going up the track, doesn't give you when you get charms, you don't get XP anymore. Like they fixed that bug finally, so it'll be interesting to see how they adjusted the difficulty level. But they said most free to play players should be able to get Morris Bench. Okay.
Do we know anything about the ban list?
It's the same ban list as last time.
So I can play the same deck as last time?
Yep. Okay, first up, we're going to talk about this week's OTA, and then we'll talk about the patch. Even though that's not the order they happened in, the patch is more exciting to talk about. Or, I don't know, it's a longer section. Whatever reason that your heart chooses. Sparky goes from 2/1 + 3 to 2/2 + 2. I think they cited in the notes that they don't think this is going to fix the Human Torch problem. In which case,
then why do I just don't get it? I don't get it.
Fix the Human Torch problem.
Yep. We're like, well, we know this isn't going to put out the fire, but we're not going to go get any water about it or anything. We're just going to see if this fan doesn't fix it. I mean, we're not literally doing the opposite of fixing the problem, but like, oh my gosh, close enough.
They already started defensively, like they're, hey, we told you this would be rough, and it was. It's like, I'm like, ooh, so when you're starting the conversation that way, yeah.
Sparky was probably too strong.
Yeah,
but I would really like to see them address the problem. Like, Human Torch is too strong.
And it seems like they don't know any other way to like do move like they changed Fanfei to make Fanfei better with Human Torch. Like what? This seems to be the only thing they know how to do these days. Let's do the Aranya thing where you move and give them some flat stats. Like just stop doing it this way. I mean, like I guess it's nice that you watered this one down, but like it just seems like that's all they know how to do now.
Yeah. Okay. Storm goes from 3-2 to 3-1, citing the War Machine Legion problem. Again, don't think they're actually addressing the problem here.
Not even a little. This is not Storm's fault. Let Storm be a card that is friends with other cards besides War Machine and Legion, possibly, the way she used to be.
Cerebro 2 will not be happy about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it gets back to what you were talking about last week with it's the problem with duplicating abilities. There's too many ways to duplicate abilities, and like Storm has never been a problem until you could just, replicate her effect everywhere with Legion and stuff, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know how they can fix that interaction, but that's how I would like to see them solve this problem, because I really love Storm as a card before Legion. And I really love Legion as a card. I don't want to see them break Legion. I think Legion is one of the most fun cards in the game.
Yeah.
But their interaction is busted.
They're like the couple that you're like, we love you both so much separately. Together, a disaster. Complete disaster together. If you could just
exactly.
If you could just split up and stay in your own lanes, we would love you both to stay the way you are. It sucks because I love both those cards individually, and together and it's like they keep nerfing the cards out of their ability to be played anywhere else rather than address the problem, which is their fucking toxic relationship,
Okay.
Do you think maybe they could change? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they could change Storm. You know how like Iron Patriot like marks the location as like this is the location where we're doing the Iron Patriot competition. Maybe Storm could mark the location as this is the location that's about to be flooded next turn, or like something like maybe like some. I'm trying to think of like how they could separate the flooding effect from the copyable transformable into
that's one thing I thought of. I think you make her ongoing. You make her Professor X.
Yeah.
She makes the location flooded, so it would happen immediately.
She doesn't change the location. Yeah, right. You'd have to like next turn she gains the text ongoing or something like that. Like it would be awkward. The other thing that comes to mind is make Legion a 6 cost. A lot of Legion plays are you play them on the last turn.
I hate it. I never play Taskmaster now. That's no fun. Don't do that. It ruins Legion.
Is there a line of text they could add to the flooding or flooded locations that like would make them not copyable on the other locations or something?
Yeah, it's just that just feels clunky, but yeah, you could do a really like tailored.
I mean, like it's not even a naturally occurring location. So like if it is a little clunky, like it's not one that rolls naturally in the course of an ordinary game unless somebody's storming. I mean, like if one of them is going to have awkward text, I think that's a relatively safe location to give awkward text to.
You could also rework War Machine. But that is a pity to lose the deck that, has Ebony Maw and Infinite. But these days, that deck is just the Storm Legion deck.
Mm-hmm. And Infinite will get work elsewhere.
Maybe you're onto it where it's just like Storm's location is flooded. And that would be like one new interaction where you could like yoink her with like Ghost Spider or something. But it's like then if you replicate, it's like it only her location is flooded. So even if you tried to Legion it, it wouldn't, but it would still have the effect.
It's actually like the underlying location or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Because this is the bonus of digital, though. It's like it can say flooded and stuff. You move Storm because it's on her text box, and then that new location it turns back to whatever location it was before.
I like that fix where she makes the location flooded, which is like a property of the location. It doesn't actually change the location.
And then you can yoink her around. She can fly.
Yeah, then there's cute things you can do with it, right?
I love doing cute things.
Or you can you Mystique her or whatever if you really want to,
We fixed it. Do it, SD.
And they could put a funny little like water filter thing on the illustration of whatever the location was.
Yeah,
like,
or put a border
it would be
around it.
So easy to do, and it would also be kind of cool and fun.
Yeah, I think that's a solvable problem. What if it changed the name of the location so it was like Flooded Limbo?
Yeah, I think it should do that.
X-Mansion.
You shouldn't be counted on to recognize the illustration. Also, did the Limbo illustration change or something? I saw a funny Limbo this week.
I saw one too. I think because I saw two locations like this. I think for some reason the backgrounds are missing, so it's Limbo, but the background is black.
It's bugged, of course. Like different artwork? No. New bug.
New patch. New shit's fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed the collection screen was being even more badly behaved than it has been in the past.
They split it up so that card art that's not already loaded, it loads on demand. Like it has like a downloading bar at the bottom of the screen.
It slows down everything else on your phone. Yeah, it sucks.
But it seemed like the game itself is loading faster because it says at the bottom like other downloads will happen later, and I'm like, okay, so they split that up, and that's great if the game opens faster. But you can't murder the collection screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say what is wrong with them. I know that they work hard and they're professionals and all that, but and I think the QA team does good work.
Hard.
But it is really wild how much slips through. Okay, Zombie Galacti gains a point of power. Goes from 7-4 to 7-5. I think they said that they knew they were being cautious on this one, and he didn't land high enough. So they didn't land high enough.
Yeah, I don't think this.
I don't want it to be a good card, though.
No, I also don't want it to be a good card. I think it's still garbage, and they should leave it here. Leave it at 7-5, and it will remain roughly as playable as it was at 7-4, and that's fine.
Yeah. I'm okay with 7-5. Hypothetically.
Just don't 6-6 would be a problem. But
absolutely.
7-5 is still bad.
Okay. Orca, I can't believe it took this long. Orca gets buff. I kind of wish Orca and Namor would go to on reveal instead of ongoing, but
yeah.
Orca's ongoing goes from +5 to +7, so he's now a 6/18 when he's by himself, and that feels like you could actually win a lane with that sometimes.
I feel like it was called for. It's already a tough proposition because there's a lot of here's the problem. There's so much Negasonic running around and stuff. It's very vulnerable to try and just even win a lane with one card anymore than old Snap days. Old Snap days, you would the classic long running old reliable was 2-pass Diverge in a wood, and one is Spectrum and one is Destroyer, as Robert Frost taught us.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, for so long, that was just a reliable deck that could plod along. But now it's you're just gonna try and win a lane with one big card that's so vulnerable to so many things. And so I like this for Orca. I have the hilarious Pixel Orca. And I would like to...
I also run Pixel Orca with Banana Flare.
Also, I think it's worth mentioning that the Spectrum Destroyer deck that you described, back in the day, that Destroyer in that deck, that was a 615 Destroyer.
Old times.
Yeah.
He slowly kept having
Professor
to
X
be
and Armor and Colossus.
Yeah,
Warpath.
I don't think this Orca is big enough. Even honestly, that's my feeling. I feel like this
He
change
still won't
doesn't
get play.
really matter. Yeah, I kind of wish they would take a harder. Yeah, maybe do make him on reveal. I don't know. I just know that I'm still not playing this card.
Yep. Okay. Odin gets a point of power, 6/8 to 6/9.
That's fine. It's like when they give it to Heimdall,
Yeah, I'm not worried about this, but I wasn't feeling like Odin was especially weak. Like,
not an unplayable card already at 6/8. So but again, this is fine. It's not gonna bump him over into problematic territory. I think it's a good change. It might be my favorite change of the OTA.
wow. Odin thoughts, Rie, or nah?
Oh, no, I was just being immature. Okay, in my head, jokes.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
No, I like this as usually, like, if I'm doing Odin, it's like Nomura. It's Nomura stuff. And so I'm into it.
I just think mostly you're playing him for his ability. So, I don't know. Maybe they... Actually, I'm assuming that they have the data that said
sometimes you're trying to win the Nomura lane with, like, a Sage or, like,
Yeah.
I've actually been playing... So I played Nomura in high voltage, so I've been doing that nonsense recently.
Wave goes from 3/5 to 3/6. This one kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
You don't? I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I see. This is like the only way she competes with like Luna, right? Luna Snow is a 3/6 that gets you energy. Why wouldn't you play Luna Snow over Wave?
I mean, Luna Snow, I feel like it's easier for me to know that I'm going to take advantage of Wave in a way that my opponent will not than it is to take advantage of Luna Snow in a way that I know that my opponent will not.
Yeah, I think Wave has a unique enough identity, but I don't know. Maybe they had the stats to say she needed help.
I don't think that the game has been in the healthiest places when people are playing Wave all the time.
That's fair, but that was about energy cheat, because energy cheat always, like, when it's
still
too abusive, gets bad. But, like,
also,
how
this
much
is better
are you
with
seeing
Professor
Wave?
X.
How much are you seeing, like, Wave around these days?
I feel like I'll see her more at 3/6, because 3/6 is like,
well, yeah.
fucking bananas overstated.
But I mean, I feel like
I see
Luna
often.
Snow. I see Luna Snow all the time, and I never see Wave, which is why I thought that immediately.
I'm
Wave.
still seeing Wave.
I see Wave in two contexts. One is people being done with Galactus, because that's always easy to play around. The other thing I see is trying to do Sarah Onslaught in the same lane.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm mostly running into the Galactus people, I think.
Yeah. I don't see a ton of it, but I have seen that enough recently that it clocked.
It's not in my pocket meta.
White Queen goes from 3/4 to 3/5.
It's good. She's tough. I'll play her. Like, I've tried her a lot of times, especially back when I was playing the Heralds of Galactus. My existential dread Galactus First Steps deck. But as you saw, I played Coulson instead, and that still ended up being preferable. She's a tough card, and it's like, not even though she's a bad card, but it's like, for what she does, I think you'd just rather play one of the two cards, like Valentina, or because you're not guaranteed to get any kind of synergy out of her, right?
Yeah.
So the synergies you're pairing her with are like Quinjet, or with those same ones. And for what she does, it just, like, a lot of times it just feels better to, like, knock an energy off that and go for one of those, other options.
I just
Have you been trying to play her at all, Ben? Like,
no, because this card is It doesn't. It generates a card, but like the card it generates is not especially good for you, probably. And like, man, this just reminds me of a thing that I meant to mention about Spider-Man Noir. That Jubilee effect of like digging one card deeper into your deck is pretty powerful, more likely to make your key stuff show up. Surfer is more likely to appear in a game when you played Spider-Man Noir. Anyway, point is, I'm saying White Queen doesn't do anything of the sort, doesn't dig you deeper into your deck, doesn't like, she's just not, I mean, why isn't she getting the 3/6 treatment? That's what I'm wondering, because like her unreveal is so not good. She's just not doing a valuable thing.
It's tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset at all to see her go to 3/6. Okay. That's the OTA. Let's talk about the patch.
Can I mention one more thing about White Queen? Specifically, what is this they're trying to tell us about... she might even nicely benefit from some of those other 6-cost changes, as if there's going to be any detectable difference in White Queen's performance based on this.
Because she's going to pull all those orcas.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Look, in low series, she might pull an Odin.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought the exact same thing when I read that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
How dumb do you think we are? Cheesy
Someone
Pete's.
keeps trying to play White Queen.
Like, these buffs also benefit Valentina. Yeah.
And Emperor Hulkling.
It's
not a buff to the ability.
6 cards are awesome for Hulkling, though.
No, they
Sometimes
are. That's the thing.
even-
He does get better.
Right? And diluting your chance to get Agatha, also pretty clutch.
Yeah. Let's talk about the patch. The highlight, like the public-facing highlight, was this thing for new users. You get was it 35? I think you get a 35-day advent calendar. It's 28 days, but you can miss 7 of them. And along the way, you get a bunch of stuff, including snapbacks. Also 4 pre-constructed decks, which is pretty cool. And they come with Series 3, 4, and 5 cards in them. And you get a card back, and it's a nice little springboard for new players. So there's an Ultron Zoo deck, a Black Panther on Reveal deck, a Mystique ongoing deck. I think that one also has Omega Red. And
2 of them have Omega Red. I know
that's true. And then another one of them, I think, has Drax. Maybe it's the Black Panther one has Drax, who's a Series 3 card for some reason. And then Thanos, who, of course, is like, that's the big exciting, that's the Series 5 card that you get out of this as a new player. You only get these as a new player. There's no, my understanding is there's no returning player or, semi-new player who gets these. You have to be brand new since the patch.
Yeah. I think they should do something for returning players, because I know that other games do a pretty good job of that. Like Hearthstone, I only log in to play Battlegrounds, but they're always trying to be like, do you want a bunch of good standard cards, a bunch of legendaries and things? And I'm like, okay, Hearthstone, I'll look at them.
Yeah, it would have been cute if they had, because they already do the daily logins. They just made an extra long one of 35 days that would just air alongside the new one. So existing players had something to just fancies.
Yeah, and they specifically called out, if you don't have Thanos, he's coming up in the next Grand Arena, and you can get him that way. And I'm like, okay, that's good. What if somebody doesn't have Cole Obsidian? Oh, Cole Obsidian is in the Thanos deck. Anyway, it's fine. It's a good thing. I think that we'll continue to see improvements.
Overall, I do. Sorry.
More of this, please.
Yeah.
I'm like, but the new players, what does that do for me? Right.
We're doing fine. We've got cards to play.
No, I agree. It's good.
I would be interested in the card backs. I imagine they'll be available eventually because Ultron and Mystique, there's no way to have them. And Black Panther and Thanos are from past seasons. So I don't have Black Panther. That was from that was from November 22. And that's before I started playing. Anyway.
Really?
It's a good way. They needed to address
right
that
before
problem.
you started playing, right? Like 5 minutes.
I started in
before.
Surfer season. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Yeah. That was I started 2 months after public release. I have all the beta card backs because those they made available for sale, but the Miles Morales season and the Black Panther season, I don't have anything from that. Okay, we're going to talk about the Datamines now. The real reason we're here. I don't know. I always find that to be a very fun part of the month, is seeing what the next set of cards is going to be. Dragon season, which we already kind of knew because some of them were in last month's Datamine, and they're the titles and stuff like that, but they're here. Ben, you take the first one.
Sholau, the Undying. It's 5/10. It's the season pass card. On reveal, give the last character you played +2 power for each turn you played 2 or more cards. So, seems to me like one of the, robots means activate. They were previewing that with Herbie. I guess they've been previewing dragons means playing big things, but also playing 1 costs and hopefully 2 cards a turn. I guess Kitty Pryde has been establishing that for us, I guess. Because Sholau wants you to have played 2 cards on 2 or more turns, or two or more cards on multiple turns, which is pretty hard to do if you look at the numbers here. Are we playing Sholau on 5? If that's the case, how many?
Then you have to play a 0 alongside him to get the extra.
Yeah, it feels like maybe you have 2
so
eligible
big,
turns there. Yeah,
I think this card is huge. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Right?
I think the card is good, especially because there are other cards that support it this month, and I'm looking at the ways it cannot work out, but really, I do think if you get like 5/16, that's pretty good. If you're getting it consistently, I mean,
you can play him on the last turn of the game pretty reasonably, and 5/20. And that's without any shenanigans.
Well, how many turns have you played 2 or more cards?
I was saying 5, but yeah, 4 is probably the most realistic.
Because
I feel like your deck is
it's hard to do on turn 1.
Yeah,
and even on turn 2, still pretty hard to do.
Especially if you're going to do something like Merlin to help support it.
I feel like turns 3 and 4 are the ones you can count on. And then maybe also 5 if you're playing him on 6. And then if you are playing him on 6, then hopefully turn 6 as well. So I can see 5/18 if you play him on turn 6.
I was interested in your take if he was a big card that worked for players of small cards.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what they're trying to do with these dragons. They're like, well, you got the big ones that cost 5 or more, and then you got the little ones that cost 1 or whatever, That seems to be what they're encouraging you to do. I mean, we'll get to the rest of the cards, but yeah, that's the season pass.
I love playing Kitty Pryde. I do think this is a big card. I am opposed to the design space of for each turn you did this thing. I was recently playing against someone who had the discard one, Colonel America, right? Yeah, and it's I was sitting here, I'm like, why is it just that I'm lazy and I don't it's not only is it multiple things you kind of need to keep track in your head if you're trajectory planning for the future. I get that it'll say on the card right in the moment, but it's so you have to track how many turns you did that and you have to add it up. And so already that feels, Huh?
There's like no counter on the screen for that sort of thing at all. Like,
yeah, so like
even in Colonel America's case, if you look at their discards, you don't know how many turns those happened over. It's
right,
a bummer
it's
that you have to keep track of that
figure
stuff.
out. And it adds more time to the main benefit of Marvel Snap, which is that, like, you can play it pretty fast. And it's like the longer you have to, like, do it's just like I feel like there's other design spaces they could go. I'm not opposed to, like, the idea. I love the idea of bigs and smalls. Obviously, I've been itching to play Kitty Pryde, and it feels like the best thing to do with her is zombies, and I don't have enough of the zombies to do zombies. It's irritating, so I haven't been able to play. So I'm excited for Kitty Pryde, but I don't like the cards that it's very difficult to like calculate they're going to be without tracking a lot and spending the time to like add up all the various cards you have with all the tricky little like conditions.
Yep. You shouldn't have to keep track of everything that might be counted for one of these cards, your Showlaws or your Colonel Americas. Yeah.
The game's leaning harder into vibe math,
and
like into just like
should you
don't know, it'll
how many
be
times
numbers.
your opponent's cards have moved for Hydra Stomper, like that kind of thing. Like it's just, I agree. It's a dangerous direction, and they do seem to be going into it more frequently now because, you know, these are recent cards. Colonel America, Hydra Stomper, Show Loud, like that's... yeah.
Okay, but I do love Hydra Stomping.
No, I also love Hydra Stomper, but like he is another part of this problem, and that's just the truth.
But this
I know. Sometimes it's our problematic faves.
But not the one I like.
I don't know how to solve those problems because, like, in some ways, like Null and Morbius have the same problem.
No, Morbius. That's information you've got mostly, except for Apocalypse and other things that go back.
And Scorn and
Morbius didn't become a problem until Bullseye bullshit let it like
and
go over the top, right? Before it's just like, oh, it's just double what they discarded. But now it's like, who knows how much they discard on their last turn with all their...
Because there are enough things that go back to the hand when discarded.
And like Null is like, or Death. They're calculable, but you have to be paying attention.
Mm-hmm. And Null, I mean, that one has the same thing as Morbius, right? Where like... stuff died, but if it's still around, it's still counting towards Null, is it not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like X-23 and Wolverine dying will beef up. It is a problem where you're like, because it's like, I am not paying attention to all of their stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I guess there have been a couple examples in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
But it does seem like it's amping up in recent...
The more they have, the harder it is to like, you just got to keep doing the vibe. This deck can drop something that can single-handedly win this lane. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the last minute swap on these next two. I was scrambling to try to figure out which one was the super premium. It's the Dragon of the Moon. Ree?
Oh, okay. Let's see. Dragon of the Moon is a 3. I should have looked at these. Put the show notes together. It's a 3/2. It's going to be a series 5. On reveal, steal 1 power from even costed cards in all hands. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Moon Knight is as far as this like kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like this just leans more into what we were just talking about.
It's like, is it just
maybe it's fine.
Too strong for it to
really
steal
fine.
from all cards?
I suspect it's not too strong. That's my suspicion.
No, I don't think so, because it's just even costed,
No,
and
that's
it's
what I'm
like,
saying.
how big
is it even costed because it was too strong for it to just steal from everything?
Oh, I thought
sure.
it was because it's for flavor, because it's a Moon Knight thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like, it's...
Is Moon Knight connected to the Dragon of the Moon? Maybe it's just a moon thing. The moon is even.
It's a moon thing, you know?
Moon hates things that are even.
All moon things are Moon
shit.
Knight.
Okay.
It's so weird that it's even costed, though, because, like, it should be odd, right? Like,
yeah.
Nobody's like, Mark Spector's so even-handed.
Yeah.
So, like, divisible by 2. You're like, no,
he
that's
defeats
one
things that
odd
are
mofo.
even. Yeah.
Okay.
He's odd. 3.
Dude's a prime number. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I don't know. This card is. What's it gonna be? Like, can we like estimate how much it's going to get?
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-4, 3-5. I don't know.
It's from your hand too.
Do you want to be stealing from your card? And like, do you count those stats if
This
you
is a
steal them
Luke
from your
Cage.
cards?
Yeah, it's a Luke
Ajax
Cage
and
card.
Luke Cage. Yeah.
Yes, I don't think this card's very good. Is my suspicion.
I don't either. The
It's
one
so
thing that
swingy.
yeah. The one thing this card and a few others have I don't know. I have recently caught this is that it doesn't say both hands, right? And this is the same with Hydra Man doesn't say both players' decks. He says each deck, and this is all hands. I'm like, they're leaving these cards open for more than 2 players in the same game.
I think it's actually just to conserve space.
I think you're partially right, but we know that I can't remember if it's like a documentary or early YouTube videos. There's somewhere I've seen that they when they were playtesting Snap on paper, they tested 2v2 with 5 locations. They've talked about it before.
I don't think they're going to do it.
You don't think they'll ever do 2v2?
No, I think it's too ambitious.
Oh, I think 2v2 would be so fun.
I don't think they want to
I
code
know.
it or
Can you
whatever.
imagine doing a tournament 2v2, like training together as pals and
Do you
like
think that the game could
doing a whole montage?
could it handle it? Could it bear the weight of 2v2? Because I don't think it can. I think that if they were going to do it, they needed to do it way earlier before the spaghetti got all tangly wangly.
Oh, I hope you're not right.
Like,
2v2.
I really don't. I don't think it's plausible. I think
No,
this is like
it's
pie in the sky
Lauren
dream talk.
It
It
would be
feels
so
like something
fun
like
to play with
It
Scott
would
will
be.
be like, the Chinese server already has this or something.
Yeah. You can go fishing with a friend and then I don't know.
Go fishing in Marvel. Say, yeah, they just added a fishing mini game.
The Chinese version did have a fishing mini
It has
game.
everything. Oh, it does?
And the Chinese version literally had a fishing mini game, and you just caught fish.
Why?
I don't know if they were worth cosmetics or what. I saw screenshots and I was like, that's wild. Anyway.
Oh,
So,
did
yeah,
they
we have a lot to
see
say about this
fish
card.
on the superheroes? I would totally do that if it was like a little iron fish. Well, okay.
Okay.
I am the fish of
Lockheed.
death.
Lockheed, also a week 1 Series 5 card. Here's your Kitty Pride buddy. A 2/1, end of turn. If you played a one cost card this turn, afflict an enemy card here with -2 power. So definitely Kitty Pride, but I think also
I'm
Clea.
so good with Clea. Yeah.
Invisible Woman First Steps, Fantasticar.
I mean, yeah, that's going to be nasty. Although, oh no, okay, yeah. For some, you could do that on the last turn. For some reason, I was thinking you couldn't do that on the last turn, but you totally could. Yeah.
Card
That
seems
deck
very strong.
needed more help.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, like, yeah, Lockheed and like Diamondback could probably solo a lane, no problem. Or maybe even just Lockheed. Why not? I mean,
This
you have to
card
get a lot
makes
of
me
invisible
miss
rogues.
good Angela though, because like this is basically it's sort of like good Angela, except you can play the card anywhere and only 1 per turn, and it's got to cost 1.
Yeah, basically Angela, but with 3 differences.
No, but like those are
the
like
spiritual connection. Yeah.
Ooh, they've been teasing the return of Angela in the new like Doctor Strange like Asgard series. It's like I hadn't been picking up Doctor Strange solo, but I'm like, I have longed to see Angela.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, look, Sholau and Lockheed definitely are like play small cards dragons, but I don't know if any of the other ones are. I'm interested to see if you still have a connection for all the dragons by the time we get through them all.
Well, I mean, like, there's Dragon Lord who is himself. I mean, he's an expensive card, but like, he's like play small thing to bring out big thing. Oh, don't knock that over, buddy. Oh, I might need to banish this cat. I mean, Majestic Wingbeat is a small card that makes your large card cost less.
All right.
I mean,
yeah.
It literally is a 1-cost card that cheapens your 5-cost or higher cards. So, like, that's like the most distilled articulation of the theme that I've identified, I think.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just like a broad, like it's a vibe. It's not as strong as Robots equals Activate.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, Dragon Breath cares about having 5-cost or higher.
Anything else about Lockheed from you two? Okay.
Nope, seems
Ben,
strong.
Majestic
Ravona friend. Every time I see a 1-cost.
Wingbeat. It's a 1-cost skill. On reveal, give the leftmost card in your hand +2 power. If it's 5-cost or higher, -1 cost too. So, I mean, it's a 1/2 that makes an energy. I mean, like, it seems fine if you have the leftmost as a guaranteed 5-cost or higher, and you can probably guarantee that at some point.
You can manipulate.
You can squeeze this in on any turn. You know,
On your
it's just a
Orca.
1-cost skill.
You're gonna play 5/18 Orca.
Can you imagine, like, the largest pixel-faced orca you've ever seen? Like, this is what you've been building for? I think this is a good
Well, I
card,
guess it'd be
though. It's
520, you're
harmless.
right.
Yeah, I think it's a good card too, and it counts for Lockheed.
Like, it
counts
doesn't
for
feel
Show
OP.
Lao, makes Show Lao
can-
easier to play alongside a second card.
Do some
Yeah.
sweet stuff with it.
One of 3 standalone skills from this season.
Too many.
They're coming.
3 too
Is
many, I would even say.
I'm curious, is Majestic Wingbeat, like, it's like, it's got fun mouthfeel, I guess. It's an interesting phrase, but, like, is that a thing?
No.
Is that, like, these Chinese dragons are known for their majestic wingbeats?
It's like Sailor Moon. They're like majestic wingbeat. Like,
Yes.
the power of wind knocks you over.
Exactly, like Dragon
No,
Breath,
I'm
they
not
get
aware.
it. That's a thing. What is a majestic wingbeat?
Also,
it just sounds
Dragon
like
Breath, is that a thing, or is that not something that's sort of covered by the dragon cards? Like,
No,
don't
I get
they have
that, but,
their own
like,
breath?
But, like, Dragon Breath is like, I get that as a skill conceptually, right? But Majestic Wingbeat, I'm not like, oh, damn, listen to that dragon. That sounds majestic as hell.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
feels like a
I guess the
majestic
idea is
wingbeat
it's
should
flying
move
higher.
something.
You know, like,
know?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
And the higher you're
It's the
flying,
wind
the
beneath
lower
your
your energy
wings.
cost is. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that. I think you're riding the thermals or whatever. I don't know. I guess that would be a different thing. There would be less flapping. I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right, I think this is Lynn Leah. Like, Leah's like...
Okay, thank you. I was just curious. I'm like, I'm not sure.
I've heard
But
people
Lin
talk
Lai
about it
sounds
from
like a cool
Marvel
name. Okay,
Rebels.
Lin Leah. Iron Fist. On reveal, add the sword of Fuji. Sorry also for that pronunciation, to another location. The sword is a 2/2 with ongoing. If Lin Leah Iron Fist is here, he has +7 power. And I'm gonna say my opinion, which it is certainly a quest. Like, that feels more work than Deken, to be honest.
Really?
Well, Deken, you're already doing stuff like discarding a bunch of ones or blowing up a bunch of stuff. This is like, move specifically this to this other location, not like, I mean, I guess you could Heimdall if you set it up to always be the left lane, but it's not like as easy.
You play this card
to
on the
like,
right, and you get it wherever it needs to go, or something.
and you're
something
gonna
like
use
that.
your ghost spider on that instead of on your on doing Human Torch for the 6th time.
I think you probably use Hellion, Cloak, or, even Heimdall at the end. Maybe Fanfei if you're feeling crafty. I mean, like, a Dakin that...
Okay, Fanfei.
Like, an honest Dakin, that's a 3/8 if you jump through the hoop for him. This is a 2/11.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's
Really
only a
big.
2, and Deken is a 3. I keep
Also,
forgetting that.
if
I
you don't
wanted
even
to
do the
compare it.
quest, it's a 2/4.
Yeah, I think Sinister that's split into 2 lanes is actually a decent card on its own.
Yep.
Discounts Mockingbird.
It doesn't soak up buffs. It doesn't like respond to help the way Sinister does, but I think it's an easy ask to do the thing.
Beefy card to hit with a beefy card to hit with Onslaught. Not that you're going to do that a lot, but
Moonstone.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Would you do this to Miss Marvel? I guess you don't have a guarantee over which line it's going in.
We only have the text here, but I wanted to call out the Lin Lia card has the Iron Fist like decoration on the logo, and the Sword of Fushi has the Swordmaster styled text. I think that's super clever because this is Swordmaster. If you didn't know, it's the same character. So yeah, next time you look at the card art, pay attention to their logos. I thought that was very well done.
That is cool.
That's cute.
Okay, yeah, this seems like a strong card.
No, you're right. I feel bad. It's a 2. That's a big 2. But you are doing it in a deck, right? That's like moving stuff.
You have to be moving stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
A famously torturous and unrewarding deck to play.
Well, I mean, so that's kind of the thing. Like, I don't know if Move plays this, right? Like,
some kind of move plays this.
Yeah, some kind of move. Sure. Yeah. maybe this will encourage them to finally hit Human Torch. That's not the only type of move that you should be playing. Yeah. Fin Fang Foom. Classic Marvel Dragon. 7/12. On reveal, gain the power of front row enemy cards here.
I was surprised this one wasn't the season pass.
Big old card. I kind of thought he would be too. I think the most recognizable Marvel Dragon.
Yeah. Iconic.
Maybe except for Lockheed, but Lockheed is...
I won a giant Fin Fang Foom HeroClix figure at Wizard World Chicago one year by playing in a limited tournament.
Seems really strong, right? Like easily a 7.
Yeah, that's part of why I thought it would be the season pass card, was because I think this is the power level that they kind of want to see on a season pass card, right? Like
this is why they buffed Wave.
Yeah, I think this is is it? Do you want to play this early or do you want to play this late? I think you want to play this late.
It doesn't matter. I mean, later is better because then your opponent might play bigger cards in the front row.
You want to make sure there are 2 things to gobble up. Yum, yum, yum. Whereas if you play it on turn 4 after a wave, you're not guaranteed to have 2 things to gobble up.
All right.
I feel like this is a card to play on turn 5 or 6.
Okay, so how are you playing him? Luna Snow?
You're ramping. Hope, Merlin, Surge, who cares? There are a million ways
That's my whole problem with this card, though, is that like I just have a bias against 7-cost cards that are meant to be played on like RSM, because it's like I don't like going for magic because I am more on the Legion side of that divine. Yeah. Like I enjoy taking them down more than like trying to like hope they don't have the counter, or you have to like ramp, but then you have to guarantee you're gonna have to put enough redundancy, like Wave and Luna and multiple cards in your deck to make sure you can play it. It's just like a dead card in your hand, you know?
I just play it in a deck.
Guess you could blink it out.
And Merlin and Surge. I feel like Hope, Merlin,
blink
and Surge, between those 3 cards, you've got it all sorted. Yeah. I assume I've got 7 or 8 energy on the last turn if I'm playing those 3 cards.
This becomes the 7-cost in Hella for sure.
True. Oh my gosh, I don't like that at all. That's bad news, Lauren. Why did you break that to us?
Oh, maybe small Hella should get a little bigger.
Yeah,
I don't like that one bit. Boo.
Because Hella runs Scar right now, right?
Not my Hella, but yeah.
Not anymore.
I forgot about that.
That is such an improvement.
7-cost. Yeah.
Okay. Shang-Chi, Master of the Rings. Ben.
Well, this one's a game start. It's a 3/4. The 10 rings starts in your hand. On reveal, unlock their potential. So the 10 rings starts as a 2/0 with end of turn. Give one of your other cards here +1 power. The upgraded version is 2/1, and it at the end of turn gives your other cards here +1 power. Not just one of them.
All of them,
essentially all three of them. I don't know. I mean, you have to play the 10 rings. That's like you're making a 5 energy investment between the two cards. I mean, it seems like there's potential here. I just sort of dislike it's so much clutter. I'm not always excited to spend 5 energy to take up 2 spots on the board to buff whatever other cards I supposedly have found time to play.
And you need other cards there to absorb the upgrades.
Right.
Like, I think this is really hard to justify without Invisible Woman first steps.
I mean, I think it's a surfer card, isn't it? Like, you put the brood down early on the 10 rings or something, and then you grow it every turn.
Sure.
I mean, or, Captain Carter. A lot of things in Surfer respond well to receiving power.
Yeah, and Surfer needs something to play on turn 2.
Surfer card. Yeah. It's nice to have a thing to play on.
I play a lot of other kinds of buff things, and it's like, the problem, like, you have to have stuff out early. And it's like, on 2, it's like you're more likely to play, like, you'd rather play a Quay or something like this if you're buffing, because you have to get Shang later, and like, that's awkward. I think you're kind of right, where it's like, it's hard to see this outside of like.
Is this a Wiccan card?
Yeah.
Because you just get a free 2, and they don't need to run Domino anymore?
It is a game start. Yeah, that's true.
Lauren, you are so right. Yeah. This is an option. And this is if you're playing Quicksilver. I feel like you do want this over. I feel like I would play this over Domino.
It gives you room to put another big thing in your deck.
Quicksilver.
I think you nailed it.
Thing. But like I was thinking,
I played so much Wiccan. I should have thought of it.
Don't know that you'll have stuff to, because like if you play the 10 rings and you don't have things to grow with it, you just played a 2/0.
Yeah.
Whereas at least not Domino is a 2/3. But when you said Quicksilver, then I'm
Domino's
like,
a 2/4. Domino is a 2/4.
Okay, but
and
once
I would
you mentioned
still
Quicksilver,
play this. Domino's primary responsibility is you have no, like, for me in my Wiccan deck, I have no other 2s in the deck. She is the 2, and I have 3s and up, and like so it's like, and it's like, I can get a 2 that like, and I'm already playing Quicksilver, right? So it's like I would play this over Domino even with Domino.
Okay, so I've got a point in favor. I've got a point in favor and a point against. The point in favor is, like, if you are in fact playing Quicksilver, that's cool that the 10 rings has a dedicated buddy. The point against is, if you're playing this instead of Domino, there's a Shang-Chi cluttering up your deck.
Yeah. But
whereas Domino at least gets herself out of your deck and guarantees the... Like, you see what I mean? Like, you're less likely to draw deeper into your deck and get the good stuff. I
actually think one of the worst things about this card is you don't know if you're going to get Shang-Chi at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You play the 10 rings on turn 2, and then you just never get Shang-Chi. At best, they're, a 2/5?
That's why I think it belongs in Surfer, is because there are so many guaranteed things you can get value with the unupgraded 10 rings. Like, you put Captain Carter,
if it hits
you put Shaw down.
Carter.
Yep.
Those are 2 things that you can leave there for multiple turns to soak up the guaranteed buff.
This card is more interesting than I was thinking at first glance. But
I still don't
like it. Both are so convincing.
No, it's clunky. It's Okay, Dragon Lord.
Okay, Dragon Lord, 5/5. It looks like it's coming from a limited time event, is what has been determined, and it is on reveal. Put a card from your hand here. This to me feels like I'm probably only playing this if I'm like doubling it up with Wong or copying it or something, right? I guess if you're it's one of the things where you're trying to guarantee you only have big, like, infinite cards in your hand or something.
I mean, we're doing some kind of Dracula dump
hand
with this, right?
Yeah.
Makari.
Yeah, Strong Guy. Oh, I haven't played Strong Guy in a discard deck in a minute. Now it's all about, like, having full hands instead of empty hands.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think 5/5's a really interesting stat line for this. Like, it's a very strong ability if you don't think
It's a
about the
very
stat
strong
line.
ability.
Right.
And you don't care
If
about the
you
stat line
set up
because
your
you're playing.
hand,
You're getting Fin Fang Foom out there or something. You know? Like,
You don't know
this
what
card's
you're doing.
nuts.
Yeah.
it can be hard. There are other cards that do that like pull like cards from your hand. And I've played enough Red Wing to know
there's
it's like
Red Wing.
it is cool when you pull off.
There's
the
Red Wing
thing, you
and
know?
what? Ultron's Time Stone? One of the Ultron Stones does it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
It's
only
hard
the
to
Ultron
control
one is a non-reveal.
what's in your hand
Red
in
Wing,
turn 6 without building
Red
a
Wing
deck.
has a chore. This card
I
just
know
does
this
the
is
thing.
easier to pull off. I am saying it is hard to manage what's in your hand to pull.
Yeah.
You have to build a deck that is like, okay, I'm not going to pull the fucking, 2-drop I never
you
ended
play
up
Makari,
playing.
you play Black Cat, you know.
That's what I'm saying, but you built the deck to do that, which means I'm just trying to always it's always like, this card is nuts, it can do this crazy thing. And it's like, yeah, when you build the deck to do the crazy nuts thing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mostly I think it's a
like,
bad card.
There's already a deck like that.
But it'll have niche homes.
Oh, I think this card is going to be very good. We'll see what
Really?
happens.
I think it'll have a home. I still think it's like, you gotta,
You can
it's a thing that will be
Grandmaster it.
hit.
You can absorb. Like,
Yeah.
wow. You can.
You could Grandmaster and Absorbing Man it.
Yeah.
You play it
You
on
can
5,
do all
and then
that
on
stuff
6 you
with
play Grandmaster
Black
and add.
Panther, Like, it's just like,
Black
Yeah, this
Panther's
card's
not
nuts.
pulling multiple cards from your hand. I don't know. 5/5 is bad stats, though.
It's not 5/5. It's
I know.
It's 5/17, like
It's-
minimum.
Right, it's 5 big, gives you energy. I get that, but yeah. Okay, there will be decks that love this, that's for sure.
yeah. Definitely have fun.
Brand of Sholau. These next 3 are Series 4 limited time event cards, maybe, but the in the Datamines, their release date is like far out, so don't actually know how we're getting these cards. Brand of Sholau is a 1-cost skill. On reveal, one of your other cards here steals 2 power from the character that costs the most in your opponent's hand. So, I mean, it's a 1/4 in the same way that Silver Sable is, but it doesn't take up space on the board, and it can do all the Merlin, werewolf, zombie, Scarlet Witch things. Hitting specifically the character in your opponent's hand that costs the most is like, I don't know how much that matters. Obviously there are some good hits like Iron Man, but I don't know.
There's a point where you don't want to clunk up. I was thinking about like werewolf grows stronger, all these 1-drops, but things I wouldn't put like just a million 1-drops in the deck, right? Because that's the problem is when you have too many tiny cards and your whole hand plays out and you didn't even draw a werewolf or something. And it's like, that's why they're still gonna it's like there is a limit. Like some of these are really powerful, but it's like you're still not gonna put more than a couple in your deck because like things like Hawkeye and stuff, giving you more cards without taking up that slot in your deck.
Yeah,
I think
like
this
one.
card is no deafening chord, and it's not even a web sling. I think I still don't like it. I still think it's cluttering up the game with garbage, and I wish it weren't happening, but I don't think it's too good.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with this one.
I mean, I think it's playable. I just don't think it's too good.
Yeah. You're on the next one, Ben.
Oh, am I? Dragon Breath. That is a 4-cost skill. On reveal, give a 5-cost or higher character in your hand plus 3 power. Afflict an enemy card at each location with -2 power. So it's a 4/9.
Uh-huh.
If they've played
Casual.
on all 3 locations, which they probably have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it. Also, really forces you to commit to whatever that 5 cost or higher character in your hand was. I don't like cards that tell you what you have to play so much. I mean, like, Surge sort of does, but you can kind of ignore that. That's the secret. You should, I don't know. I don't like. I feel about the same as Brand of Sholau with Dragon Breath. I don't think it's too good, and I do think it's stupid and ugly.
Rie, any Dragon Breath thoughts?
I don't think I have anything to add to that. I'm also just like lacking. It's very expensive.
I'm trying to think of what plays it. The first thing I came
Black
up with was
Black
Galactus. Yeah.
I'm thinking of 5 cost cards that like do double
the card that gives you more energy, like you want to buff up.
Fallen one.
The fallen one.
I could actually see that. But
Yeah.
the fallen one, if you have tons of energy, it's because you want to do other, like, you want to play other big cards.
That's true.
So how do you
also,
ensure
you probably have other big cards in your hand that may be, diluting your chances to even hit fallen one.
That was the problem I was thinking with Galactus too. I'm like, oh, but you have Death and Null, and like, how are you going to make sure that Galactus gets the +3? It's just like, we already have. I can't think. Is it Maverick? There's some card coming in December that's like Super Forge, and I'm like, that's just better than Dragon Breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm on the list.
Rie, one more.
Okay, Dragon Man is a 4/6 Series 4 card, maybe from a limited time event. And end of turn, +1 power for each location that's full on your side. Oh, like a Dazzler friend. I'd watch Dazzler writing a dragon concert. No, I'm sorry. I'm the art. I don't know what Dragon Man looks like. I'm not familiar.
Dazzler is an ongoing, so that can all happen at the end of the game, whereas Dragon Man is end of turn, so he wants you to fill up your lanes early, which is
or
bad.
you do Invisible Woman shenanigans. Like, it's kind of weird with all these end of turn cards, is they're kind of bad if you don't have Invisible Woman.
I
think this
like
card is
the
just
challenge.
bad no matter what.
I agree,
this
but
card
the
is
challenge
hot garbage. I don't think they're
of
releasing
filling
it.
up your lanes early, like when Debris was old and you would have reasons to do stuff like that, it always felt super clever when you're like, I beefed mine up early, but it doesn't matter that I filled them up, which I like doing that counterplay where it's like, oh yeah, usually you hold back, but it's such a surprise.
You thought I was in trouble, but I
early.
have Claw.
Well, let's try to solve this maze backwards. How big do we think Dragon Man needs to get to be playably okay?
I mean, only like
412?
I think 412 is more than big enough.
Are you
play
playing
410.
this in Affliction where you're gonna annihilate stuff over? Is that the plan? No, yeah.
It could
Maybe?
be.
It's a 4/6
It's only
though.
it's only
tough.
locations that are
It's a
full on
tough
your
card.
side. So
I don't know where you
you're
play
getting
this.
possibly +3 per turn if you've filled the entire board and are done playing cards for the rest of the game. So like realistically, he's getting maybe +1 or +2. And if +2, you've still probably already given up the game by surrendering 2 lanes forever.
412 is
card
Ares.
Yeah, Ares, a good card that doesn't make you fucking fill up all your lanes.
You don't have to fill up all your lanes to hit 412 with this.
How is this?
How?
But like, look at the thing for steps, right? It feels like it's like, how is this
It's just
powerful
not
enough to
enough. Yeah.
compare to anything that exists already?
Even if
No,
412 were
it's
good
not.
enough, which it's not. 412 is not good enough. like you'd have to you play this on turn 4, so that's to fill up your second lane so that you can start soaking up +2 power at the end of every turn. This card is so bad.
Yeah, I don't
Nina
even
gets
want this in an
+3
Invisible Woman deck.
Like, this card is so bad. They're not released. Like this is like Tombstone. Like this is one of those cards that we're never going to see again because it's just not good.
Yeah.
You could do it in a Deathbird deck, like fill up Ultron stuff and then like
Then you
Killmonger.
Killmonger and you
Turn.
don't even get to
So
collect your
bad.
final
I'm
+2.
sorry, I can't think
It's
of
so
that.
bad. This card is nothing. I'm like, how have we talked about it this long?
If someone said something really clever in the comments, I hope they do. We were all stupid for nothing.
There's nothing here. The numbers would need to start at 4.8. Like, and it would have to get +2 per full location, and then maybe we'd think about it.
And then we're talking. All right. Let's move on to our side quest. First up, and only secret homework. This week's secret homework was assigned by Ben.
Well, I didn't. The homework was play some amount of Slay the Spire. I didn't specify what we needed to do, how much Slay the Spire to play. Were there goals? Were we supposed to play standard Slay the Spire? Were we supposed to do daily challenges? Were we supposed to play with a bunch of custom modifiers? Free. I don't know. I left it loose.
To do a slay.
I left it open.
Open-ended is great.
Yeah, I think it's a real great game. I have here in the show notes, I picked 3 cards from each of the 4 characters that I thought were, I don't know, interesting that I wanted to talk about. I picked 3 wonderful relics that I wanted to talk about, but I was not sure how much that I just wanted to make sure I had enough Slay the Spire stuff to talk about. But did you guys play much Slay the Spire?
Yes.
I should look at how much I did play. I played.
Who's
I didn't track it. Lauren is assigning.
Okay, so Lauren gets to go last. So I guess I'll talk about some Slay the Spire stuff.
Okay. That's usually the order we do.
I love Slay the Spire. I actually meant to play some non-Slay the Spire games to talk about during this section. I wanted to play some Monster Train. Couldn't bring myself to do it. I would rather play Slay the Spire. Monster Train is fine, but it's no Slay the Spire. Let's be real, people. Also, listeners, if you've played Monster Train 2 and it's good, you should tell me about it and get me excited about it. I keep meaning to solicit this information from our listeners, the recommendations or disrecommendations about Monster Train 2, because I am curious. But anywho, Slay the Spire. It's a deck building roguelike thingy. You go through 3 areas. You pick your path on a little map. There are forking paths and things. You can decide which kinds of chambers you would like to visit. There are several different kinds. There's a standard enemy encounter. That's sort of the most common one, where you fight some kind of enemy and it does its own thing, and you try to beat it with cards. There are also elite chambers where you fight a really difficult enemy and then you get a relic if you beat that enemy, and relics are the best. There are also shops. There are mystery rooms where funny, interesting things can happen. It's a little bit like Oregon Trail, where like you'll have random events and you'll be like, ooh, this is an interesting one. How will I navigate this? Do I have the right stuff to get me out of this predicament? I don't know. Those are some kinds of rooms. There are also campfires where you can rest or upgrade one of your cards. And the core combat when you get in a fight with an enemy is you'll always know what your enemy is going to do, more or less. It'll tell you above their head. There'll be like an amount of damage that they're going to attack you for. It's like Into the Breach in that they tell you what they are definitely going to do. Like the enemy behaviors are pretty much locked in, with a couple of weird exceptions for very rare cases. So you want to finish your turn with enough block to weather whatever damage the enemies are going to throw at you, and hopefully you have enough energy to do that while also doing some damage or otherwise advancing your own cause, assembling your own Death Star, Anywho, there are 4 characters. They each have different mechanics and themes that they emphasize, and there are some overlapping things that you don't have to. Your expertise with one character will carry, like, the understanding of the game you get from playing the Ironclad will inform how you play the Fallen or the Silent. That's what it is. The Silent or the Defect or the Watcher. Those are the others. So the Ironclad, some of its themes and mechanics are it gets block really well. The Ironclad also is the best at navigating status effects and curses. Unlike in like a Final Fantasy where like you get a negative status effect and like, well, I guess there are Final Fantasy style debuffs and things, but one of the interesting ways that enemies will try to bring you low is by shuffling bullshit into your deck. And the Ironclad excels at turning that around. One of the cards that I put in the show notes here is called Fire Breathing. It's a power card that gives you a passive. And whenever you draw a status or curse card, you deal 6 damage to all enemies. So like if you draw your card that indicates you're wounded, like boom, I turn that into fire breathing on all my foes. That's neato. Another thing that the warrior, or not the warrior, that I use so many interchangeable wrong words for the 4 character classes. I always know who I'm talking about. If I talk about the rogue, I'm talking about the silent. Anywho, but yeah, the Ironclad is big and tanky. It is not worried about getting sick or cursed. It's great at exhausting cards that takes them out of the deck permanently. The card that I'm talking about here is True Grit. This is the only upgraded card that I put on the list of cards to talk about. Some of the cards get a little better when you upgrade them. Some of the cards get a lot better when you upgrade them. The unupgraded version of True Grit exhausts a random card in your hand, so you might be permanently getting rid of like your best card. You cycle through the deck over and over in combat. So managing what's in there is pretty cool, and that's one of the coolest things that the Ironclad does. And the third card I selected for the Ironclad is Body Slam. That's an attack that deals damage equal to your block. So it is one of these cards that rewards you for doing another good thing that you should already like to be doing, which is getting enough block to not take damage. And so this lets your defense become also your offense. So that's neato. I guess the second class is the Silent, I believe. That's the name of the one, is it not? Probably. Yes, the Silent. That's correct. I'm so bad at these names, which is weird because I've played a lot of this game. But the Silent is good at playing a bunch of cards. Can I say about the
Silent? She has the skull mask, and I've also played so much of this game. I mean, on the Switch, so it's handheld. But the first time ever I looked in, I'm like, oh, look, it's her little face. And you can see. I assumed it was fully hidden. But you can kind of see it under. Anyway, you learn something new every day.
I think there's a lot of like interesting stuff to look at with the art. It's like fairly simplistic, but it's very cool.
Simplistic.
And there's like a lot like going on, and if you analyze like the character designs, you'll see a lot of the enemies in the illustrations and things of your cards that like maybe don't pop out at you like right away, but like usually if there's some, I don't know. Point is, look at the cards closely. They're super cool. Also, there are alternate extra simplistic artworks for each of the cards. You can activate beta artwork for any of them that you want, and those are also quite charming, although less polished. But anywho, the Silent, the 3 cards I picked for the Silent to highlight what that one's about are Blur. That's a skill that gains 5 block, and it changes a fundamental rule of the game temporarily, in that block is not removed at the start of your next turn. So you can actually like get a big surplus going. The Ironclad also
I hate
has
this, Ben.
Is like
it's like I feel like you either get the one that removes no block at all, the power. Like Blur just feels like a sad, You'd
rather have the calipers and well, the thing is, if you get enough blurs, and if your deck is small enough,
warrior power,
you can
right?
blur every
that
turn.
Lets you a fighter power.
Yeah, there's an Ironclad power that makes block. I think it's called blockade.
Yeah, never get removed.
You retain all your block, and that one's good. But I like how the Silent does it, where you re-up on it again and again, and like if you have a 12 card deck and 2 of the cards are blur, and you have cards that draw cards, you're blurring every turn. You can actually stack up blurs and make if you play 2 blurs in a turn, you get 2 stacks of the effect, and it will last for 2 turns. Yeah, it's true. It upgrades to 8 if you want to do that. I think Blur is a super neat card. Another super neat card this one gives you some inevitability. It's Noxious Fumes, baby. It's a power. At the start of your turn, apply 2 poison to all enemies. So, like, you poison them, but the poison dissipates. But this adds more poison every turn. It only dissipates by 1. So, like, your stuff starts to scale up. And that can be, like, there are a lot of ways that things can go wrong for you in Slay the Spire. And one of the worst ways is if you start running into enemies that snowball and they've got scaling effects that like get better, but you don't have scaling effects that get better. But like, if you can stay alive with Noxious Fumes on the board, you will kill anything eventually. So it's good to have a way to ramp up, especially if the rest of your stuff is dedicated to staying alive. And the third card I've got to highlight the silent is Backflip, baby. It's another block skill. And this one draws 2 cards. Nobody else has a block skill that draws 2 cards. That's not true. The Watcher does. It's Sanctity, but it's conditional, and you have to, the previous card has to have been a skill. But like, also, that's an uncommon. That's right. These cards have rarities, and that also gives that adds to the personality of the different characters. Like, the fact that the silent has this block that draws 2 cards at common really like tells you what the silent is about. The warrior has a stronger block that draws 1 card, but that's a different thing. So that's cool. I didn't pick any of these cards, but the silent also just loves throwing shivs. So many shivs, shiv, stab, 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 stab. Lots of stabbing, tiny little attacks.
That pairs super great with the point when you get the like power. I love pairing that one with the every time you hit, it gets them poisoned. So you just like ping them up.
I'm trying to remember the name of that power, but I do know the one. And what is it? Gosh dang it. Well, I didn't pull that one out for the notes, so I can't remember the name of the card, but I do know the power you're talking about, and it is indeed great with the shivs. Also, like, some of these mechanics have like certain sort of bridge like things. Like, you can play the silent as being all about poison or all about shivs, but if you get that, it's like a rare incentive to make a hybrid deck.
Or
not a rare incentive, but like a particular incentive to like hybridize those 2 mechanics that the silent has access to. Do your poison and your shivs together. And that stuff is
you can do after image, Ben, with the shivs. I just got that the other night again, where that's the one where every time you play a card,
every time you play a card,
you get a block. And it's like, that's the best to like, you know, an aggressive defense is fun in card games.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All 4 of these characters are so fun and so cool to play, and just they're delightfully designed. I don't think they're all equally good. I think the Watcher is much stronger than the others. That's my opinion. But my favorite is the third character here, the Defect. The Defect is a little broken robot wizard, and it has little magic balls and things. The 3 cards I picked were Stack. The Defect has an interesting sort of strategy you can pursue where you generate cards and they're just sort of added to your deck for the fight, and like your deck just keeps getting bigger and bigger. What Stack does, you gain block equal to the number of cards in your discard pile, and very often I'm trying to keep my deck as small as I possibly can because consistency and predictability are very valuable. But I like that the Defect invites you to like get crazy with the cheese whiz and like generate random cards and just hope that you can make the best of it. Like it's very much the Arishem approach. Another card that I thought was worth highlighting was Charge Battery. I just love these block skills. They really tell you what the character is about. Charge Battery gains 7 block, which is pretty respectable, and it upgrades nicely too. And next turn, you get an energy back, so you can like you're saving some for later. It's the Jennifer Kale of block cards. Then we've got, well, really it's just like Psylocke, but you know, either one. And the third card I picked for the Defect is Electrodynamics. It's another one of those powers that gives you a permanent sort of passive situation for the rest of the fight, and that makes all of your lightning orbs now hit all enemies. and you get to channel 2 of those lovely lightning orbs right then, right there. That's just a card that feels great to play, and it really turns the tide and makes things pop. And last but not least, we got the Watcher. Very strong. The Watcher has different stances that she can switch between, and they're real good. She has an angry stance that makes her deal double damage and receive double damage, so it's risky to end the turn on that one. But there's also a calm stance, and when you break calm, you get energy back, so like you can like really just burst it out. Also, you can sort of alternate between these things, and it's so easy to go infinite with the Watcher. You can just it does not take anything to go infinite, where you're just switching back and forth between stances, making more energy than it took to do the process, drawing cards off of changing stances. So to highlight that strategy, we got one power. It's called Mental Fortress. Whenever you change stances, gain 4 block, and that's how you just pile up a huge amount of defense that will become impenetrable. And the other side of that coin is this 0-cost attack called Flurry of Blows. Deal 4 damage whenever you change stances. Return this from the discard pile to your hand. So you can play a single Flurry of Blows several times in a turn. If you happen to have 2 of them in rotation, ooh, baby, you're doing twice as many Flurries of Blows. There are certain relics that reward you for doing a lot of attacks in one turn, so that's a great way to take advantage of those. And the last Watcher card I wanted to talk about is an exceptional one. It's called Vault, and it's a skill. It costs 3 or 2 if you upgrade it, and you get to take an extra turn after this one, end your turn. And that's a card that exhausts itself, so it removes itself from your deck. That's also true of all the powers that I discussed. Whenever you play one of those, it is gone from your deck, so you don't have to worry about drawing it again. Anywho, those are 12 Slay the Spire cards that I thought I should mention because they're neato, and there are way more cards than that. There are cards that I have like basically never played, which is just wild. And every time I do try to get outside of my comfort zone and play them, I like the cards that I haven't played yet, you know? And there's just so much to do and explore and learn. Just real quick, I want to talk about some relics. Orange pellets. You can only get this one at the shop. And if you play a power, an attack, and a skill card, those are the 3 kinds of cards in the same turn, you get to remove all of your debuffs. And debuffs can come from enemies. Debuffs can come from your own cards. Debuffs can come from potions. If you drink a potion that gives you temporary strength that goes away at the end of turn, and you happen to fulfill the orange pellets thing, you wipe the come down. So you stay high forever. If you wipe the, so I don't know. Point is, there are a lot of debuffs that you will want to remove, and you won't even realize how many there are and how much good you could be doing for yourself until you start messing with orange pellets. So if you haven't experimented much with orange pellets, start experimenting with orange pellets. They're so good for you. Anywho, another fun relic I wanted to talk about, Smiling Mask. This one makes it so that the card removal service at the merchant always costs 50 gold. It ordinarily escalates. It costs 25 more each time you do it. And as we've all learned from Marvel Snap, it really matters how many cards are left in your deck. There's a lot you can do if you know, well, I've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting the thing I want, you know? So the more you remove cards, the more you can add cards and still have a consistent game plan. And the final relic I wanted to talk about is Wing Boots, because it reminds me of Heroes of Might and Magic 3 that had a similar piece of equipment. And Wing Boots lets you ignore paths when choosing the next room to travel to 3 times. So it's like if you got to decide you didn't like where you were going on the Oregon Trail and then go to the other path or whatever, you know, it lets you get more of the kinds of rooms that you want to get. So like if you want to fight a bunch of elites to get a bunch of relics, that's usually what I'm using it for. Although sometimes you need to visit a campfire like right now to heal. So those are relics. I forgot about potions. I might have selected a potion or 2, but I've already talked enough. What did you guys think about Slay the Spire? Did you have fun?
Okay. I love card games and I love rogues. So of course I love Slay the Spire. One of my favorite things about it is like, because it is a solo game, you don't have to get into the meta. And I haven't. It reminds me of like when I first started playing Hearthstone. It was when the game was first new, before there was time to have all this like internet meta build up around. I was like really good because it's just like I played a lot of card games. I played a lot of board games. I'm good. Oh man, in board games the other day, I swept like the last 2 times in board games. I swept all games of the evening, which, okay, like it's like it hadn't happened in quite a while. So like, and it used to. So, you know, it's just like, we back on. Anyway, but, and I was really good. And then I like left Hearthstone and came back. And it was like, I feel like maybe if you had like started out in Marvel Snap and then came way back later, and it's like, oh, there is a whole like meta, you know, with the auto deck builder kind of equalizes things a bit more. But otherwise it's like, you know, you're going out seeing all of this stuff, but Slay the Spire, all my initial like, you know, unjust biases, prejudice against card and play, I've just stuck with. It's great. My favorite, I can't lie, is the defect. I love just building up an orb factory. Just like lightning, just like all the lightning things. It all hits everyone. Every time they hit you, you do everything. You just like, oh, just lightning. Like you get to the bosses and it's just like, just lightning. Like, it's just really fun to set up. Or just like giving yourself powers, because like that's the whole build.
The
it's
defect
just like,
loves powers.
Right? There's cards that say when you get a new power, a thing happens. You're just like, power. Like I just ascended another level on defect because I've like I said, I play willy-nilly. I'm not like goal oriented. A lot of times I fall asleep halfway through the run the next night. It's like we abandoned this run because it's not fresh, you know? So, you know, I play what I want, but it's like, you know, putting together that little, when you can get that little intense deck, because here's how I play. It is the most aggressive because I'm like, right away we're going, because you have to get the 3 keys, right? And 1 key you can get on any level. It's just only from 1 elite, you know, the fiery in each level. I'm like, we are going for that. We see that on the map. We go for that immediately. That's goal number 1. We're going to get that.
Really?
2, we never rest. Resting is for the weak. We use that time to get stronger. We train. I don't care how little HP. Okay, I have caved once or twice to a build I was really attached to, but for the most part, it's like, you know, if you die, build deserved it, and it's better to go early and start again. Drag this out. So, like, I'll caffeine drip. I'll never rest. I'll always just be buffing instead. Anytime I get the opportunity to lose HP to gain a power, that's what I'm doing. The same way I always take like max health over like the like, you know, hit points are only 1 or something. I mean, I play pedal to the metal, and if the deck doesn't cut it, it doesn't cut it. So we live fast and we die young and Slay the Spire. It's the only way I know how to play.
Doing the high rolls. And it sounds like you challenge the heart every time.
Huh?
You were talking about the 3 keys. You made it sound like you go for the 3 keys every time. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's how I usually play. Usually I always go in the first level. I'll go for the first elite. I always go, I dive for elites. I dive for question marks because my heart yearns for the unknown.
Well, also, question marks are good. They're really good. Like, it's better to go for question marks than standard encounters.
I never spend gold on potions. They're temporary. I want permanent
don't buy the
benefits.
Potions.
Relics,
No.
I want to remove cards. I always remove a card at a merchant unless I don't have the money for it. I'm always trying to whittle down my deck into something better. Don't forget, actually, one of the biggest things, if you just started playing Slay the Spire like this week, you know, let me blow your mind. You don't always need to take a card. It's not good for your deck.
Even if you don't have the singing bowl that rewards you for skipping it, it's very often correct to skip.
deck builder games, which I have. We've been busting out Tyrants of the Underdark once again, which has kind of been shelved for several years. That's a fun board game. But deck builders, the ability to thin your deck is always extremely valuable, right? To always just, keep it down to your good cards. So, yeah. So, like, I have fun. I love Slay the Spire. The way I play is I just alternate usually. I'm like, okay, fine, we go as far as we can. And then, like, when I die there, or if I, finish it or whatever, then, like, I'll go to the next character. And then at some point I fall. That's how Slay the Spire goes. We slay and then we sleep. Slay, sleep. It's the life.
Someday we'll have to get you the PC version and we can try the mod where we can do the co-op.
Yeah, get some mods up.
That would just be so much fun. The co-op one looks so sick, to be a little Final Fantasy party with the co-hosts of Snap on This.
Oh,
throwing our cards at the big enemies. Oh,
I do want to be
so much fun. Lauren, did you have a time?
Yeah, I think in some ways I inspired this homework because I had claimed I had not played Slay the Spire. But I hadn't played it much. And then I opened it up on my iPad and I had 5 hours on it. So that still probably isn't much. I'd be very interested to hear what your 2 playtimes are like. But
hundreds. Yeah. It's got to be hundreds, right?
I deleted my file immediately and started a new one. And as I was playing, it was coming back to me. I was like, oh yeah, I have played this before. And I just checked when Secret Homework started. I played 4 hours this week. I got to the 3rd boss, which sounds like is the last boss, unless
you feel extra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got to I've never beat the 3rd boss, but I got to it like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, once with each character. I haven't gotten the 4th character yet because I haven't.
Oh, you do need to beat that 3rd boss to get that 4th one.
Yeah. I will say there are things that I really like about it. I like how different the characters feel. I like that each character has like a handful of like distinct strategies, builds that you can go hard on. What is it? Silent and Defect were my favorites. I mean, I'm picking 2 favorites out of 3 characters I played. They both had a lot of fun where you are just having long turns where you're playing tons of cards in a single turn. And that just feels silly and fun to do. Like rolling a handful of dice, it's just a inherently fun thing to get to do lots of actions in a single turn. I think currently I like the Silent better, but maybe I just haven't had that like magical run with the Defect yet where it's like, oh yeah. The Poison is interesting to me if I can't be a healer. And why would you be a healer in a solo party game? So
I mean, there's something to be said for it. The Ironclad with its 6 health at the end of each fight, or the Defect with the self-repair power.
So yeah, you 2 both sort of already answered some of my questions about the game. I was wondering if I was deck thinning too aggressively because I do have a lot of deck building experience, and I know that usually cutting down your deck is the right thing to do, and so I am skipping a lot of free cards and often paying to thin my deck down, and I wondered if maybe I was not playing correctly.
You can't do it too aggressively, though, because strikes and defenses are not like a lot of times, even if it doesn't particularly suit your deck, it's still just like more damage than a strike card or more. So I do think it is possible to be like.
I'm only 4 hours deep for the 2nd time. And maybe I'm doing it too aggressively. Maybe I haven't unlocked enough cards yet. Maybe I just need to learn the game more. Who knows?
Because bloating the deck gets more, but it's like your starter cards are starter cards,
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So it has felt repetitive to me in only 4 hours, and y'all are saying that you're playing for hundreds of hours. So there's obviously something that either isn't clicking with me, or I just haven't gotten to the point where it like it becomes interesting. It's not that I can't do repetitive things, right? Like
But it's the repetitive specific thing. There are people, I think about this all the time. I'm still in the subreddit who play like Stardew Valley, where it's like they're just walking across town. Maybe they're playing mods on the computer, but I think a lot of them are console. And they're willing to do that. That's what killed me. I'm like so tired of walking across town every single day. It's so repetitive. And some people, they're just
hundreds of hours. Yeah.
Just a jam.
Well,
yeah.
And I've played tons of Snap, which is arguably repetitive, or tons of Hades 2, which is arguably repetitive, or the first Hades. But those, I don't know, those didn't, they didn't get boring
Hades
in 4
2 is
hours. I don't want to call Slay the Spire boring, but it's not.
I have a suggestion.
I'll try to push through and play more, but I could 100%, coming back to it and putting 4 more hours in, I'm like, oh, I totally see why I dropped it after 5 hours last time.
If you feel no pressure to play more, but if you do, there's one thing that I realized made things go a little quicker. If you have a run that ends quickly, like before the first boss, or you can just like tell it's a stinker, you can pick these choices at the beginning of the run, and one of them that always shows up if you haven't gotten very far, you only get to pick the fun choices if you make it to the first boss on your previous attempt with the character. But one that's always available is make it so the first 3 enemies have 1 health, so that you can just like blaze through the first 3 fights. And also, depending on how you pick the path, you can maybe go through a lot of question mark chambers or shops or campsites. Okay. And like you can actually maybe even get to the first elite. Like maybe even the first elite. I never
picked that option. That option felt wasteful.
Yeah, exactly. I never did either. It's like
it gets you out the gate like pretty quick. And also, if you can maybe fight the first elite and it's a hard one, maybe it's the gremlin knob who gets strong every time you do something that isn't or that it's a skill. That's a tough elite enemy in the first area, especially if it's the fancy one that's holding the key. But anywho, I find that one makes it get to the meat of the run quicker. And by the time you're actually doing full fights, you'll have like some cards in your deck, maybe some good ones. I don't know. That's just a little thing that I've found helpful. And like, it's not as exciting as pick a rare card or like give up all your gold, but remove 2 cards from your deck. Like, they're fancy ones, but you can still have a really good run even with that sort of simple one, and it speeds things up.
But I understand your complaint, because I feel like that's where it does get repetitive to me. I'm tired. It's like, oh, I always have the same starting deck, and I'm only building it so fast. It's like, I really hope, I know they're coming out with the Slay the Spire 2 at some point, and I really hope they have it where you can get more of a variety in your starting. Each of the characters also has they each have one unique, card or whatever that they start with, but it's still the same basic, set. And it's like, this isn't a board game.
Like a little too slow to ramp up.
Digital.
Yeah. Maybe the 1 HP fixes that problem where it just feels a little slow to ramp up. I don't know. I don't want to say it's bad. I had a lot of fun for those 4 hours. It just like not feeling a lot of pressure to go any deeper. Whereas, other games sometimes get their hooks in very deep. But I'm also somebody who often bounces off of games. Like, I'm kind of like, if it hasn't like really grabbed me, maybe I can find something else that will.
Well, thank you for being a sport and giving it a shot.
I was really glad. I was happy to play it again. It was fun to explore, and I got further. I don't know what the percentage is, number of cards that you've collected. Like cards you've put in your deck. Is that what the percentage is on your file name?
Oh, the percent. Yeah, it's
there's a percentage on your file.
Unlocks, I think.
I don't know what it is,
but you'll unlock this stuff like so fast, like you don't even like remember the time before you unlocked all the stuff.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what the percentage means, but I got further in this 4 hours than I did in my first time when I played for 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I assign next week's homework. Next week's homework is show and tell. I want you to. You don't have to do research on this, but it will probably be better if you do. Dig up an obscure Marvel character, a la Hellcow or Infinite that, might be fun to have in Marvel Snap, and just tell us a little bit about that oddball. The weirder, the better. I would love to hear about characters I have not heard about before.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Okay. Well, friends, listeners, viewers, if you liked what you heard and you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, rate and review, leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify. I mean it, do those things. It helps the algo and it feeds our souls. If they exist.
They definitely do. We, all three of us, we are souled individuals.
Soulful is often how people describe me.
Stake my reputation on it.
Or you can come hang out with us in the Speakeasy, which is our little corner of the Snap Judgments League Discord. There are instructions to get there in the show notes or video descriptions. Description singular. We're proudly part. It's not like I've said this 66 times already. We're proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to other great shows like Snap Decisions from Joe on Mondays. So tune in next week. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Oh, okay. I do have something to bitch about. If there isn't other.
I'm glad you do.
Okay. So I have a problem that hopefully a lot of other people have, and isn't just me, is that, like, I have plenty of TV that I need to watch that I haven't watched, but I'm looking for, like, stuff to put on, like, while I'm working, like, pay. So it can't be one of the things that I really want to watch and pay attention to, or that, and so I've tried several new, like, TV shows, and I'm like, oh, let's see how these do. And they all start immediately, like, I don't know when I became such an old person in a square, but they all start immediately on a sex scene. And I was so, like, put off. I just, like, turned them both off because it's just, like, I'm not a square, but one, we're just, like, inundated with porn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I want to see someone in their most, like, objectified way, it feels like I'm walking in. It's like, hey, this is a TV show. For you to get invested in this show, you need to, like, watch, you need to invest in the characters. You need to, like, learn them. You need to relate to them. Okay, what if we do that by having you walk in on them having sex? And it's like, that's not how I like people. It's very, I did it in college. It was very awkward. It did not. In fact, it further drove us apart. I less wanted to be ever around them again. And I was in the wrong. I shouldn't. I mean, the door wasn't locked, but I shouldn't. I mean, they were in the couch. But, like, it wasn't my house.
Yeah, my instinct was. I think I was right to question that. Yes.
No, I was totally in the wrong. It was very awkward. And it's just like, why? Like, okay, like, I don't mind a tropey opening. Like, have them get up in the morning and show them getting ready. Like, that tells you a lot about a character and stuff, right? Like, if it's just like, watch, like, some fucking porn. It's like, that's not what I signed up for. So it's just like, I don't know. I wish they would stop doing it. It's like, I feel like they're just to be like, look how edgy we are. We're so edgy. You're going to see this person doing it before you see their face. And it's like, can we just
I have noticed that also. I'm not super sensitive to it, and I don't know if this makes it better or worse for you, but I have noticed on many of these shows, it's really just the first episode or maybe the first two episodes where it, like, goes there. And I don't know.
We got to establish that they fuck. But once you know that they fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the season, it's tamer. It's like all of a sudden there's no more nudity for the rest of the show. It's like, why was there any in the first episode? Was it just to hook people, I guess?
Well, it's prestige TV. You wouldn't know if there weren't tits.
I know. It's just, it's that. It's like they're just trying to check a box or something. And it's like, if this is the right show for nudity, why isn't there nudity in other episodes? And I'm complaining in both directions. Like, there either should be or shouldn't be. It's weird that it's only up front and then never again.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a prude. I'm just someone who has grown up on the internet where it's just like, like where it's like everything is just like
You've seen this before. Nobody's impressed. It's right,
yeah, and it's like I don't need things to be edited. Maybe I'm just getting old though, but it's just like uncomfortable.
It does sound like that.
Well, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah. It reminds me of like when a group of us were all watching TV another time in college and we're flipping channels trying to find something to watch. This was like the old times when TV was different and you would flip channels to watch
on demand.
Instead of like a streaming. Or like going down the cable list or whatever. And like he turns into like softcore porn and we all just laugh because we think it's a joke, but then he just leaves it on it. And we're like on the couch and it's like, we're all just kind of like, do you think something's going to happen? It's not. Like, this is just weird and we're all uncomfortable now. That's how I feel with those scenes.
Yes.
But I'm not like morally opposed, obviously. I just need it. It's like, like watching it like voyeuristically is not the activity mode I'm in, for
sure.
television.
Yeah.
Is all.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna open that way, that can certainly be very telling about your character, but at least do something clever with it.
But what kind of TV are you looking for? Besides TV that doesn't start with the bucket. Like what kind of television are you?
Okay, the last one that I put on through. Happy stuff. That I'm not entirely sure how the season ended because it was, like I said, background, but it was a show called Shard Lake, and it's about like a detective like trying to solve a mystery in like medieval, like the 1500s, in a monastery, and he's got a what's the right word? He was born with an arm that's like, very small. And but the actor seems like actually like they got someone, I don't think he's wearing a prosthetic. And he's very good, Anyway, apparently it's based off
Chaos on Netflix.
Oh, I'm not familiar. I just randomly came into this and I'm like, mystery, detective, old timey, so I'll put that on in the background. I was intrigued.